Hello, and welcome to School Health Presents Talkin Tech with Dr. Ray. We're going to continue on in our series talking about different types of classroom and socially appropriate fidgets. You may recall we've talked about several different things to this point, and one of them being, of course, the School Health Tangle toy, another one being pencil grips. Those are always great and socially as well as classroom appropriate. I want to spend today talking about some alternative uses, though, for two of my favorites, the Caterpinch and the Gel-E-Fidget. Now, both of these are made similarly and are there for different purposes as we go through. I'm going to talk about the use of the Gel-E-Fidget first. Both of these are great because of the fact that you have kind of that gel-like cushioning that presses down. Now, please be aware, even if this were cut into, there's not liquid gel that comes out. So you're not worried about that, but you don't want to have an individual mouth it. But the alternative use for both this as well as the Caterpinch is the fact that in pressing on these, you're getting heavy finger work as you go through. So what are some of the alternative ways I've seen these being used? Well, if we look at the Caterpinch here, I've seen it used as a way of actually putting all the fingers down and just pressing with the fingers as we go through. Why is that important? Well, think about it. Many of our students who have the ability to use a laptop or a standard computer actually will be using some type of keyboard input. And within that framework, what we want to do is get their fingers used to being able to press down and interact. And that's exactly what I'm doing. I'm just simply pressing down on these as we go through. Now, you may be saying, well, wait a minute, we're not teaching them typing skills. Before we even get into the whole idea of keyboarding or typing, we need to make sure that their fingers have that strength. Again, this is for those individuals that can use it. So using the Caterpinch, you can be working on some of that strength going in. When we're talking the Gel-E-Fidget, because you're only dealing with four, what we sometimes deal with is pincer grips. So again, OTs out there, you know that we want, and I'm going to pull out my pencil grip here, we want them to have that proper 3-point grip coming in. But in order to get to that point, sometimes we need to get them to work on pressing down. Well, this is a great tool, again, to get them to press down, but also then allow them to take along with them. So what I love, and many of you have heard me talk about this before, the Gel-E-Fidget, we can clip it onto a backpack. We can clip it onto even the zipper of a coat and have it go along with us. And because it's not making any sound, it can be, again, a classroom as well as socially appropriate fidget for an individual to have, where they're just going to squeeze, they're going to do things. But the ironic part about all this is if we're working with them therapeutically to work on the strengthening of those fingers, then guess what we can have them do as a way of sensory release? Hold on to it and maybe do some pressure work that way as well. Now, if we're dealing with an individual where that heavy finger work is not going to be kind of the pincing or the squeezing, we can simply put something like this, or again, like the Caterpinch, down on the table and just have them from time to time press down on it, not making any sound. We could even have them put it on a lap where they can't see it. You see it keeps disappearing from our screen here, and I am pressing down on it. It's not making any sound. So these both, the Gel-E-Fidget and the Caterpinch, are great not just for sensory release, but we can also do it for doing some heavy finger work. We can do it for working on our pincer grips. We can also use it for preliminary approaches to keyboarding skills as we go through. So those are just a couple of ways that we can take items we've already got or items we're already using and use it for multiple purposes and multiple benefits for our students. As always, I thank all of you for joining us here, and I look forward to seeing all of you somewhere down the road.